Good morning, guys. So we're down the home stretch, two lessons left, counting this one. So after this today, you will have one left, and then our goal is to finish up the Hawks and get the test taken, and then you're done with the class. It's kind of exciting to think about. So what we're gonna do today is just basic algebra matrices. That's adding, subtracting, multiplying. So the big thing that I want you to do, the first thing I want you to do is to make sure you know how to label the matrix. So this one right here, I want the dimensions. So A has 3 rows and 2 columns, so we call it a 3 by 2. So just go ahead and label them all. B is a 3 by 2, C is a 4 by 2, D is a 2 by 4. It's always rows by columns. So in order to add them, they have to be the exact same. So A and B, are their dimensions the exact same? If the answer is yes, then you can add them. So A is 3 by 2, B is 3 by 2, that means I can add them. And what you do is you just add the ones that match up. So I'll go ahead and write them. I'll show you what I mean. So I would add up the first ones. -3 plus 3. I would get 0. Then you would do the next one. 2 plus 17. That would be 19. Then do 0 plus 5. That's 5. Then do -5 plus 4. It's -1. Then do 11 minus 10. That's 1. Then do -9 plus 4. That would be -5. So that's your answer. Alright? C plus D. Are they the exact same? So 4 by 2 and a 2 by 4, they're the exact same? No. So your answer is literally just not possible. Saves you a lot of work. If they give you a number on the outside, that means you multiply every number on the inside of the matrix by that number. So I'm going to take -4 times my D matrix. So -4 times 2 would be -8. -4 times 1. -4 times 0. -4 times -7. There's my first row. Do the same thing on the bottom. And that would be your answer. Subtracting is the same thing. They have to have the same dimensions. So B minus A does work. Order does matter. So I've got to put B first. And then subtract A. The biggest thing on subtraction, guys, is to make sure you watch your signs. Because if you subtract the negative, it turns into a plus. So 3 minus -3 would turn into +3. So that's 6. 17 minus 2 is 15. And then just keep working your way through. And that would be your answer. Lastly, sometimes you have to multiply and then add or subtract. So this one I'm going to take -3 times my matrix of A, and then add it to 2 times my matrix of B. So the first thing I would do is I would multiply. So when you multiply, I'm going to get 9. That's A. That's already multiplied. There's B. That's already multiplied. Now you can add them. So 9 plus 6 would be 15. -6 plus 34. And so on. And again, it works because they are the same dimensions. In order to add or subtract, they have to be the exact same. There's my answer. So notice your answer is the same dimensions as the ones that you're adding. Alright? So it's adding and multiplying by a scalar. Now, multiplying two matrices, do the same thing. Go through and do the dimensions. So this is a 1 by 3 on A. B is a 3 by 2. C is a 3 by 1. And D is a 2 by 2. In order to multiply, the inside matrices have to match up the inside number. So here's what I mean. If I took A times B, 1 by 3 times a 3 by 2. Do you see how the inside numbers match up? So what you do is your answer is going to be the outside number. So you're going to end up with a 1 by 2 matrix. And here's how multiplying works. You take every number in the row and multiply it by every number in the column of the second one. And what I mean by that, not every number, but the numbers that match up. And then you're going to add the answers together. So to get my answer, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take 5 times -6 plus 2 times 4, because those are the second numbers, plus 3 times 6. So that would be -30 plus 8 plus 18. So I should get -4. And then you do the same thing, same row, but now you do the second column. So I would take 5 times -5 plus 2 times -2 plus 3 times 7. And that would be your answer. Notice it is a 1 row, 2 column matrix. Now if their inside numbers do not match up, so this is a 3 by 2 times a 1 by 3. So I have a 2 and a 1, they don't match up. That means it's going to be not possible. That's what you would say. A times C, I got a 1 by 3 times a 3 by 1. Notice the inside numbers match up. My answer is going to be a 1 by 1. So 5, 2, and 3 times 10, -4, and 9. So my answer is really just one number. So 5 times 10 plus 2 times -4 plus 3 times 9. So your answer ends up being a 1 by 1, which is just 69. Lastly, if I square something, remember that means take it by itself. So 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2, you're going to end up with a 2 by 2. Be careful. Common mistake. A lot of people think it means you just square the numbers. That is not what you do. You actually have to multiply the two matrices together. Now here's one that's a little bit more complicated, and I'll show you how it works. I take this row times this column first. So 4 times 4 plus -10 times 2. So that's my first number. Now you're still in the first row. I can multiply by the second column. So I would do -40 minus 10 to get your second number. Then you do the next row times the first column. Then the second row times the last column. I get my final answer. and that's multiplying. Lastly, if they give you statements, they want to say, what are the values that make this true? So here's what you do. Notice the numbers on the outside. That means I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to do that to both of them. So 20x, 12 on bottom. We're going to write two separate equations. Minus 60 on top, because I'm multiplying by 4, equals negative 2y, because there's nothing to multiply by there. Plus 4y on bottom equals 4x. So what you have to do is use substitution or elimination. So this one I'm going to divide by 4. I know what x is now. I'm going to sub it in for the x in the other equation. So in this one I get y equals 0. I plug it back into your equation. X equals 3, so your answer is 3, 0. And you can go back and double check them to see if it works. It does, so you're good. B, notice at the end, one matrix has 3 parts. So here's what you do. Just worry about the first part to write your first equation. So 8x minus 3x equals 30. So 5x equals 30. Divide by 5. X is 6, guys. And then you go through and do the same thing with the y's. So now 4 times y, 4y, plus 3y, because negative 3 times negative y equals the middle number. And lastly, your z's. 4 times 3z, negative 3 times 2z equals your last number. So your answer is 6, negative 3, 7. Don't make that one harder than what it is. And that's it. Your homework is 10.4 Hawks. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Let me know. You can send me a message on Remind, whatever. Have a good day, guys.